it's Michael here with GoodyReader.com. We're getting a hands-on actually with the new Sony 13.3-inch e-reader. As you can see, it's very thin. And of course, this is a prototype. It's not indicative to the final design, but it looks really polished to me. Of course, you have the micro USB cable here, put content to and fro, also charge your device. No audio capabilities or anything. But it does have a stylus here, and you do need it to interact with some of the finer points of it. So let's just take a look at some of the options and stuff that you'll have here. Wireless, date and time, system management, getting your firmware updates happening. You can see here that there's buttons here, home, back, options, and they have like physical, it's almost like little buttons, so when you press it you do feel like a click, so you do get a little bit of torque with it. Okay, so let's click on Workspace and see what's happening here. Documents and such, you actually have like a memo area here. You click on here and actually have independent PDFs to actually draw on. So I can click on, so I'm going to create a new memo. I'll just go with the default, but you can actually see the keyboard here, which is the one thing I wanted to kind of show you. So fairly responsive. You can see that the page refresh, there's hardly any flickering when you're switching to and fro from the different aspects of the keyboard here. We'll just create a new memo. Okay, and I could simply, you can see it's very responsive. In the past, we've looked at a lot of e-readers that have handwriting things, and the Sony is actually guilty of this. When you sort of write a word, it plays catch up sometimes. You can see that as I'm writing, it's instantly showing up, which is cool. You can also see a number of other sort of options here. I could erase. Just tap on something I wrote and erase it. I press this button and those options actually appear here on the bottom now, which is cool. Okay, now let's look at how PDFs really look on this, because when it comes to PDFs, it's very important to have a device that is optimal. And I mean, this is the largest screen e-reader that we've ever seen before, and in many times 9.7-inch e-readers were the standard. Okay. So you can see here that this is a PDF. Without having to play with anything, it is looking fine. Look at that crispy resolution. And this is perfect because it actually shows you numbers here. So for mathematical, more research-based PDFs to more text-based PDFs. There's a lot of versatility here. All I have to do is just tap on the screen, and it allows me to edit, highlight on the fly. Very crispy, very resolution. You can see that, let's take a closer look at the pen here. This is the digital pen that actually comes with it. No word yet if Sony will be selling these separately, so you want to hang on to it, but it does have a little holder here for it. Of course, this is temp, not indicative to the final design. So PDF experience, it is looking very, very solid. You can also click here to see a number of options, and these are options that really have not hit any of the other videos documenting this. You can hit page controls. You can see that we got 4 panels now. We got most of the document here, but we also have a slider. So you can scroll through the whole document. You can see that there's 233 of these little panels. So a ton of versatility in this. You can see here the resolution on a mathematical problem. Let's hit settings again. Now, one of the cool things is that if you say I make notes on this page, right? I can actually save this as an independent document. So this page, I could do a bunch of edits and then save it as its own independent file. It'll be saved to the memory of this e-reader, and then I could simply, again, plug this into my computer and then copy all of the different PDFs or PDF pages that change. So I could save an individual page, or I could save the workspace. So you have your normal PDF with no edits, and then if, say, I edit the hell out of this, do highlights, annotations, and things like that, I can actually save the entire document with all the changes that I made. You actually have page controls as well. Sort of brings me to the same menu. Just mainly a lot of tab type stuff. Annotation list. So it's going to search the entire document for any annotations that I've made. Given that this is at SID Display Week, there's probably a lot of things. So here are all the different things that people have done. And you can see this is page 1 of 3. So now that it loaded up, it actually loads pretty quickly. So we've taken pretty well a look at everything that this really has to offer. Fairly impressed by it. It also does have an internet browser, but of course, on conference floors, we seldom have Wi-Fi. So we've hoped you've enjoyed this hands-on of the new Sony 13.3-inch e-reader. It should be out by the summer, and for all intents and purposes, it looks very polished to me. It doesn't really look like a prototype design. So for goodereader.com, my name is Michael. It's SID Display Week 2013, goodereader.com.